in today's video. And before I get into the topic that I wanted to discuss today, I just want to say that I'm definitely not telling anyone to quit taking their meds. I think if you have severe symptoms, then medication is a necessity to help you live a better life. So in no way am I saying stop taking your meds. Now, there are cases like, go back in history, like Vincent van Gogh, who was allegedly bipolar, who of course wasn't on medication. Who are some other great famous people who were thought to be bipolar? I don't know, I'm drawing a blank. But, I mean, those people obviously battled the illness without having medication. But in today's society, where medication is available and most everyone has health insurance and they have access to medication, I think that you should be on it. But there is a downfall of medication, and being stable really isn't all it's cracked up to be. So I am going to talk about that a little bit. And I mean, the first thing is, if you have bipolar disorder, I'm going to start with bipolar disorder, I guess. So bipolar disorder, having extreme ups and downs, and having those extreme ups and downs go away, and becoming, like, for me, I still get hypomanic, and I had medicine-induced mania, regular mania, not hypomania. So that happened to me, but that was because of a medicine. And I've had like a couple days here and there of hypomania, and I've had a couple days here and there of depression, but I haven't had anything severe. Like, it just doesn't get as severe as it used to. So, adjusting to that, not feeling those extreme highs and those extreme lows anymore is something that you really have to get used to, because you're so used to being hypomanic and sociable and just the life of the party and having so many friends and doing well at work and doing well at school, being able to stay up all night and study for an exam, and things like that. Being able to achieve so much because you're hypomanic, or in some cases manic. And when you're depressed, like, you really kind of feel for people when you're depressed, like, because you know how low you've gotten, so when someone else is that low, you can really, really relate to them, and sometimes you can, like, better understand them and be able to help them. Like, I'm not saying that I have totally forgotten what deep, severe depression feels like, but I don't know, it's like not a part of me anymore. So, I mean, when I was a writer, or I'm still a writer, but I would often write a lot of times when I was in a depressed episode, and I would create a lot of good poetry that way. So that was kind of a benefit of it. I mean, there's definitely not any benefits when you're suicidal and you're just not completely apathetic to life and stuff. Like, that is not fun at all, and you really want to be on medication for that. So and just going back and forth between your moods. You almost become like tougher in a sense because you're used to like going through life with these strong emotions, and you can kind of like handle bad news and stuff better because you know what it's like to be really depressed and you've been really suicidal before. So if something tragic happens in your life, then you've already been really low before, so you kind of already know what to expect. So that's kind of almost like an advantage when it comes to like tragedy, is that you already know how that's going to feel, and that so far you've always gotten past it. So that's kind of one thing to think about. But and yeah, I don't know. It's just it is I'm not fucking prepared for this video. It is hard to not have intense emotions anymore. It is really kind of weird because I'm just going to get into schizoaffective disorder and schizophrenia. So someone actually left a comment on my video, one of my videos recently, that asked if I took antipsychotics and said, like, did you know that antipsychotics increase the negative symptoms of schizophrenia? And I did not know that. I hadn't heard that before, but I looked it up, and sure enough, it is true. So some of the things that happen is you really lose your creativity. So like as far as like writing goes, like I used to write all of the time, and like as far as like photography goes, like I used to be really good at taking photography and editing photos. Like I just was really good at it, and I always had like new ideas of like what to photograph and what kind of editing techniques to use. And I just don't really have that anymore. Like I find it really difficult to think of things to create, things to photo, and like I find it hard to, like I get writer's block a lot, I guess. I find it hard to write, and just like being creative, like thinking outside of the box, like I find that kind of more difficult now. Another negative symptom, reduction of speech, which can be for like small talk. So like when I'm small talking with someone, like I only give them a few words or like a few sentences. Like I just can't keep that conversation going anymore. And I don't know if that has to do with my negative symptoms being increased or what, but I find that really difficult. And a really big one is social withdrawal. So I really don't hang out with my friends anymore. And if any of my friends are watching this, then I'm so sorry. It's nothing personal. It's definitely not you, but I've just been like so socially withdrawn. Like I just don't want to do social activities anymore. And like that sucks. Like withdrawing from your friends and shit, like I don't know, that just really sucks because you should have a social life and you should have friends that you connect to, and that's just helpful. So another thing is impaired attention. So it's really hard for me to concentrate anymore. It's really hard to pay attention. This is something that's always been a problem for me, even before I was on medication though. So it's possible that the medication could be making this worse, but I don't really know for sure because I have always had a problem with impaired attention. And sexual problems is another thing. Like I have no sex drive at all, like whatsoever. Like it really sucks and it's really unfair. And that I think is definitely something that is happening because of the antipsychotics. Because before I took antipsychotics, it wasn't like that. So definitely that one. Lethargy. So just having a total lack of energy. Like a lot of days, I would just like sit on YouTube or like sit in front of the TV and watch Netflix, and I just don't have any energy to like do other things. Like I really have to push myself to do other things. So those are the negative symptoms of schizophrenia that I think have kind of enhanced after being on antipsychotics. And the other thing is anxiety. I didn't do any research into this, but I feel like my anxiety has gotten a lot worse over the past like year. So I don't know why that is, but I just feel so fearful of like doing anything. Like I used to be okay doing things on my own, but now like I don't want to do anything alone. And I just like working at a job gives me so much anxiety. Just like doing any like adult tasks gives me a ton of anxiety. And just like before, when I wasn't medicated, I felt like I was a lot more carefree and didn't like have this ruminating anxiety. And I don't know, like I don't know what's happened. Like it could be just like my anxiety naturally got worse, but I don't know. I really do wonder if it has something to do with taking my antipsychotic that has caused an increase in anxiety. I'm gonna look into that. But yeah, so being stable kind of, it's good. I mean, it's definitely good. Like being stable is good. It's wonderful not to hear negative voices telling me to kill myself anymore. It's wonderful to not be so manic that I'm cheating on my boyfriend and I'm going 65 and a 40 driving on the wrong side of the road. Like, it's really glad. I'm really glad that I'm not doing those things anymore. Like, medicine has been so great to prevent doing those types of things or having those types of symptoms. But I think for those of us who are schizoaffective or schizophrenic, like, it's really hard. The negative symptoms are so hard. They're much harder to treat. And the fact that antipsychotics that you need for your positive symptoms to treat those, that it makes your negative symptoms worse. Like, I don't know. I mean, what's worse, positive symptoms or negative symptoms? I think positive symptoms are more destructive than negative symptoms. So I guess it's better to not have positive symptoms and you just have to suffer with the negative symptoms. So all of you guys watching this, all my lovely followers, subscribers who are schizoaffective or schizophrenic, how do you see the negative symptoms affecting you? Are you more symptomatic since starting your antipsychotic than you were before? Let me know, because I feel like my negative symptoms have gotten worse since being medicated. And for those of you that are bipolar, how do you feel not having such strong emotions anymore? Do you feel like you can still relate to people? Do you feel like you can still socialize and be lively? Not being manic? Just like, yeah, I don't know. This video was a clusterfuck. I'm sorry, guys. But that's really all I wanted to say. That was kind of what was on my mind. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have not yet subscribed to me, please do. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.